there's definitely this preconceived notion that selling your home is overwhelming. It comes with a lot of challenges. And again, that could be the case depending on which route you go. It could be something where you have to pour a bunch of money, time, energy, and effort into to be able to get the return that you're looking for. That's where we're uniquely positioned in the market to provide a solution where you don't have to do those type of things. When you're looking at everything, it's like, how much time, energy, effort, and money do you want to put into this project? We'll call it a project. You have going open market, trying to get top dollar, and then you have us, which really eliminates the majority of that overwhelm. It depends on the avenue, the route that you want to take to sell your property. But if you sell with a home buyer, we've bought hundreds and hundreds of houses where we walk in, we meet with somebody for an hour and a half, and then we close in 7 days. There's not a whole lot of inconvenience in that timeline, right? If they don't want to hear from us, they just want us to come to the house, them sign a contract, and they don't want to really talk to us till close when they get their money, like, that's completely fine. There's usually not a whole lot of hurdles that somebody has to jump through in order to get their cash in 7 days when you're working with a home buyer. If you decide to go the on-market route, listing with the realtor, typically you're going to play the cat and mouse game with the realtor for a period of time. Very seldom where it's like a one appointment, sign an agreement, get the property listed. A lot of realtors are difficult to get a hold of. So what I typically see is, hey, people will meet with 3, 4, 5 different realtors and really go through almost like an interview process where you're determining, hey, is this person going to be the best fit for me? Are they going to be able to do what I want them to do? Are they going to be communicative? That's a huge one that we hear a lot of feedback on. Once you go through that process, which could take a month, it could take 2 months, it really just depends on the quality of the agent in your area or who you're talking to. Once you go through that, you typically signed a listing agreement. Now, that's not to be confused with an agreement for sale. That is just saying that, hey, I'm entrusting agent so-and-so to sell my property. Those listing agreements, they vary in time. The most typical one I see is usually like a 3 to 6 month listing agreement, probably more on the 6 month side. The realtor is going to come in, they're going to walk the property, they're going to give you recommendations on what work needs to be done on the property to get full ARV, to make it competitive on the open market. And then it's really difficult to judge that timeline because it depends on the size of the project. So you could be talking, hey, we just need to do touch-up work. Typically that's going to take a couple weeks to a month, just depending on how quickly you can get a contractor out to your property. Good realtors will have a database of people that they've worked with in the past. So they'll usually refer you to somebody that they know and trust. But one thing that we're seeing right now, and it's really in every market, is contractors are swamped, right? To get somebody out here to do a project, let alone just give a bid, it usually takes a while. So there's a lot of variables. If it's touch-up work, it could take you 2 to 3 weeks. If you're talking something that's more significant, like a kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel or paint, floors, all those different things, you're also adding in the variability of how long is it going to take to get those materials. We've talked, we had a hailstorm come through and it took 3 months just to get the windows at the property. And then another like month and a half, 2 months for them to install it. The timeline's really hard to pin down. And that's why I think agents give themselves such a long period of time, because depending on the condition of your house, there could be a lot of work needed in order for you to get top value or top ARV on that. So once you get to the point where, hey, the realtors come in, they've given you their recommendations, you've signed the agreement, you're situated, then the market is going to yield what it yields, right? Like you can be lucky and you can get the property under contract in a week or two, or you can play that cat and mouse game of, hey, I don't have enough showings, I gotta lower the price, things like that, which again, it's not very predictable, right? We've seen houses, even that we've flipped, that we've priced just maybe $10,000 too high. We've seen houses sit for 60 days. We have clients that come to us after their house is sat for 120 plus days, right? So it's really hard to nail down a timeline. There's a lot of different factors. Again, inventory plays a big part. How many houses that are similar to yours are available on the market? I mean, if there's 12, likely your house is going to sit a good bit longer. If there's none, then you might be in that boat where you get an offer within 1 to 2 weeks of going live, and then now you're just going through the back end of the process. Once you get the property under contract with a buyer, Then you have to worry about inspections. What type of lending are they getting? Are they getting conventional? Are they getting FHA, VA? Depending on what's going on with the buyer, it could lead to more strict inspections or a little bit looser inspections. If somebody were to come and buy the house cash, typically it's their prerogative whether or not they want to waive those inspections. But if you're going through VA, for example, it's mandatory. They're going to come in and they're going to inspect the property, and whatever is on their punch list after they inspect it has to get knocked out. And most of the time, they're going to go back to the seller of the house to get that concession. There's times where you can negotiate that and work with the buyer on those things. But at the end of the day, the loan is not going to get approved and funded unless those things are taken care of. If you're looking at listing with a realtor, there is a significant possibility that whole process can be pretty overwhelming.